Alright, dear friends, today's lesson is about non-profit making organizations. So non-profit making organizations are also known as non-trading organizations. So these organizations, they are different from the profit making organizations because their aim is not about making a profit. So let us look at the main objective why these organizations exist. So here I've written objective. So the main objective for these organizations is simply to provide services to their members. So we can write here to provide services to their members. Provide services to their members. So we have organizations like the Lions Club, the NGOs, football clubs, the societies, cooperatives. All these, they exist just to help their members. They benefit from the activities that they do. If we talk of cooperatives, they are there maybe to help the members have market for their products. Okay, so the way they prepare their books of accounts is different from the profit making organizations. So let us look at the financial statements that these non-profit making organizations prepare. So the first one that we'll look at is the receipts and the payments account. Receipts and payments account. So the receipts and the payments account is equivalent to a cash book for profit making organization. So here we can write cash book, okay, where we have a cash account and a banking account. The second financial statement that is prepared by the non-profit making organizations is the income and expenditure account. Income and expenditure account. So the income and expenditure account is equivalent to the profit and loss account for the profit making organizations. Profit and loss account. Then the other financial statement that is prepared is the balance sheet. The balance sheet. Balance sheet. Now, the balance sheet is prepared in a similar way we prepare for profit-making organizations. All right. We can also look at the terms that are used by non-profit making organizations as they prepare the income and expenditure account in relation to the term that is used as you prepare the profit and the loss account. So for the income and expenditure account, when you prepare it, you are going to calculate what we call surplus of income over expenditure. Okay, surplus of income over expenditure. Surplus of income over expenditure. This one, if we are to compare it to the profit making organization, is equivalent to the net profit. Is equivalent to the net profit. Then, in case you make a net loss, in the case of the profit making organizations, it's a net loss. But for the non-profit making organizations, the net loss is known as excess of expenditure over income. Excess of expenditure over income. This excess of expenditure over income, sometimes you can write it as deficit. More especially if you are in an exam, it might be difficult for you to remember the whole sentence excess of expenditure over income. So you can simply write deficit. Even when it comes to surplus, in an exam situation, if you can't remember surplus of income over expenditure, simply write surplus. It's fine. All right. So that's about the financial statements. Now, since these organizations do not exist in order to make profits, where do they get their incomes? How do they survive? So let us look at the sources of income for the non-profit making organizations. So we'll start with the main one. When you have an organization of that nature, it is expected that members should be contributing something so that they sustain their organization. So the first source of income for these organizations is membership subscription. Membership subscriptions. Okay, each member is expected to contribute. Then the second source of income is donations. Okay, you may have donations from the well wishers. Apart from donations, the non-profit making organizations may also engage themselves in fundraising ventures. Okay, so we can have fundraising ventures, like you have a dinner dance. Okay, whilst having a dinner dance there, you can conduct a raffle. Okay, so all those will be sources of income for these organizations. Then you may also try to come up with a small activity where you'll be having some kind of income generating activity. You may have a bar, you may have a touch shop, a restaurant. Okay, so you'll be getting profits from such ventures. Okay, so profits from income generating activities. Profits from income generating activities. Then you may also have what we call legacies. Okay, legacies. So legacies, these are sums of money that have been left by the deceased ones. Okay, so they will go towards these non-profit making organizations as sources of income. Now we'll look at how to prepare a receipts and payments account. Okay, so let's look at how we can prepare now a receipts and payments account, since we looked at the three financial statements that are prepared by non-profit making organizations. So we'll start with the receipts and payments. From there, we'll look at the income and expenditure account, and finally we see how we can prepare a balance sheet. So we have a question here on the receipts and payments account. The question reads, enter the information below in CASI Social Club's receipts and payments account for the year ended 31st December 2020. So we have cash at bank on 1st January 2020, 3,200, subscriptions 10,500, donations 600, bank interest 350, salaries 2,700, telephone 550, rent and rates 1,800, sundry expenses 700, cash in hand on 1st January 2020, 150 kwacha. So how can we prepare the receipts and payments? So you prepare it like this. You draw the account. So when you draw the account, remember to indicate the title. So this is for Kasi Social Club. So Kasi Social Club's receipts and the payments account for the year ended 31st December 2020. Okay, so for this one, you start with the receipts here. So you write the receipts and underline. Then you check from the question there which items are receipts for these organizations. So when you look at this question, for receipts we have got subscriptions. So you write subscriptions there. Okay, subscriptions. Also indicate the currency. Start from this column for addition purposes. So subscriptions is 10,500. Then we also have donations. Donations is 600. Then we also have bank interest. Bank interest, it is 350. 350. Okay. So where receipts are concerned, there are these three items. So let's find the total here. If we add, we have 0, we have a 5 there, 11, 14, okay, so 1, 11,450. Then you write down here less payments, okay, because we should subtract payments. Okay, so less